We send like 1 million emails a year right now, cold emails.
Yeah.
When I started, we sent like 1,000 a month. So like 10,000. Then we went up to like 100,000 a year. And I was like, that's amazing. 100,000 cold emails, 100,000 people that didn't know about us. And now they do. Now it's 1 million.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Colors Web3 and Entrepreneurship. This is episode 45. My name is Lam, your Web3 host. For those of you who are new to the show, Colors of Web3 and Entrepreneurship is the show highlighting the journeys of builders and innovators in Web3 and entrepreneurship. Here I am today. I'm actually in the entrepreneurship today, so we were having some Web3 discussion. And well, today I'm joined by Bojan Najdov. He's my former classmate, actually, at the graduate school in the USA. But now he is the founder of Lambda Group. Bojan, can you give a quick introduction by yourself?
Yeah. Hey, guys. Hey, Lam. Good to see you again. It's been a while. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited to chat with you guys and see what comes out of this. Yeah, from my side, my name is Bojan Najdov. It's not easy name to pronounce, but it's difficult to forget once you get it right. And obviously founder of Lambda Group. Basically, our offer is we'll get you whatever developer you want for however long you need. So we do staff augmentation in the technology space.
Awesome. So I think, well, before we deep dive into the company, I think a lot of the viewers are probably interested in getting to know a bit about your background, right? So feel free to pick a time. I think you can pick a time from when we were in the graduate school or even before that, and then maybe share with us about maybe since the time of your professional experience until now.
Amazing. Yeah. So good question. How did it start? Dude, I actually always wanted to be a finance bro.
Okay.
So we studied that. We were like, okay, we're going to be a finance bro, investment banker, trader. Like I bought into that big time.
You did, right? I did. I remember a ton about you were really focused on finance.
We did a master's. So we did an undergraduate and master's and a graduate degree in finance. So just studied finance, wanted to be a finance bro, went into finance, and I did a lot of like digital strategy for investment banks. And what I saw was actually the digital side, the technology side of investment banking was very interesting. Like developing software for them, creating automations or tools for these guys. But the actual work that they did was kind of bad. I was like, it's very repetitive. I didn't actually enjoy being a finance bro, but I really enjoyed the technology side. We worked with so many, like, let's say, average or poor developers. And I was like, I have to be able to get better than these guys. And when we worked with great technology guys, we had great technology outcomes. And so I just said, you know what? We live in the technology age. I know I'm a finance bro. I'm a tech bro now. After 5 years of like finance bro, which is like, it is tough to get off of those golden handcuffs. It's a nice place to be. Like we didn't have to work too hard and you get paid well. But I just went all in on technology. So I don't know how to code. I don't know how to program or anything like that. And now I'm selling developers that know how to code and know how to program. So, and we've been doing that for like the past 3 years. So 5 years of finance and 3 years of now just like selling software developers onto startups and mostly startups and SMEs.
That's cool. Wait, so right after we graduated from Thunderbird, I think we probably graduated, I think same year probably.
2015.
2015, exactly. So did you go straight into like finance? You were just working for banks or something?
Basically, exactly. Like I was like a consultant to banks. So we did a lot of, let's say I was like a management consultant to the banks on the digital strategy. And I wanted to go through from consulting into investment banking. I thought they'd see how good I am and they'd hire me. I don't know if that happened. I think they saw how good I am, but when they wanted to hire me, I was just like, actually, I kind of like this consulting thing. I kind of like this technology thing. I don't actually like being a trader and, you know, executing trades on a trade floor. It was just not that exciting, but technology was much more. So yeah, it's almost immediately, I would say, like 6 months after graduation, I got a job and we off onto the rat race, man.
Awesome. And then I think did you move to like Europe, right? I think after that.
So actually what we did was we deployed the big fish, small pond strategy. We went to South Africa. And you know, as a European that studied in America and Asia, South African market, like we were a big fish. No one really had that background. So it was amazing for me. And it opened a lot of doors and we got to work with a lot of banks, a lot of clients, doing a lot of cool projects. I basically moved to South Africa after graduate school in America. Spent like 5 years there.
Interesting.
And then, COVID happened.
Wait, I'm curious. How did you even like connect with a job in South Africa from USA?
Yeah.
You know people there or like?
Yeah, I have like dual citizenship actually. So
Oh,
we lived in South Africa for a good 15 years.
I see.
And they felt pity for me and they gave me a citizenship. So they gave me that passport. And yeah, I had that like play. I could either do Europe. I tried America. No one was accepting me. I probably just didn't try hard enough if I look back on it. But yeah, saw South Africa as like a low-hanging fruit, a good opportunity to get my foot in the door. Put my foot in the door. I was really enjoyed it. And yeah, COVID happened, and I just said, if the world's going to go to hell, I'm going to choose how it goes to hell. Like, I won't just let like an employer be in charge of what they need to do, how do they want to do it. So then we just started a company.
Awesome. So basically, you began your company during COVID then? During the...
Exactly. It was a great tailwind because, everything was going remote. Technology
Yeah.
was a really big thing. Doing technology enablement projects was huge. So yeah, we got very lucky in the beginning just to, we had this massive rising tide, massive demand and appetite for technology. So back then it was like shooting fish in a barrel to get clients, and much easier than it is in this market right now.
Okay, I see. Yeah, I think for sure. I think back then, yeah, there was kind of a lot of tailwind, right, for the tech industry because like everyone is just working remote. So basically need a lot of the productivity and IT tools, and so it's just basically just give the boost for the whole like
Yeah.
IT sector, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
At
I
that
mean,
time.
even Web3 went massive run for bull run for cryptocurrency, both the big boys and the small ones. So that is also like Web3 was going through a 2-3 year
Yeah.
bull run.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, and I think for most of my viewers, for sure, and my show is mainly focused on Web3. Actually, I'm curious, how did you first learn about Web3?
Oh yeah, it's a funny thing. I honestly have no idea. I have no idea how it was introduced to me. But what I do remember very specifically was looking at the price of finance bro, trader,
Yeah,
like that's my mindset.
I see.
And I remember distinctly looking at the price of Bitcoin in one country and in another. And actually it was in South Africa versus Europe.
Yeah.
And there's a huge arbitrage play. Buy it in Europe, sell it in South Africa. And there was like
Was it
there's
like
an Asia Pacific
10%?
one.
Was
Yeah,
it
it was
like
like
10%?
10%, 20% sometimes. It really depended on the day, but you
Yeah.
could really have this amazing arbitrage. And there was an Asia Pacific one as well, like for Korea. Korea had very expensive Bitcoin relative to the other markets. So a lot of people were doing that, probably for Korea, probably for Japan,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And yeah, try to get into that arbitrage play. We sort of got into it, but actually around that same time we bought, and this is 2017.
I see.
So just before that massive bull run,
ICO
like
boom, right?
early 2017. Yeah. Early 2017, we figure out this Bitcoin thing. We see the price, and we start to do like trading to make money with the difference of prices. And then a friend of mine just said, "Hey, there's this other one that's called Ethereum. It was like $80 or something, or $40 when he
Yeah.
bought it. It was 40. By the
Yeah.
time I believed him, it was 80. And yeah, I've just bought a bunch of Ethereum as well. And dude, we stopped trading because we were just like, man, you just have to buy this damn thing and don't trade it, just sell, like
Right?
wait.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And
But it's
it was
hard.
an amazing. Yeah. We lost a lot of money. We made a lot and then we lost it all. Easy
Yeah,
come, easy go.
yeah. I think it's actually very typical in Web3. Yeah, some people think like hodling or just holding is easy, but it's actually one of the most difficult thing, right? To fight against like human nature.
Yeah,
So I think
it's
we've
you're
heard
going
many
against
like
your
stories.
emotions.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Super hard,
it's
right? Yeah.
tough.
It is
It's
tough. Yeah,
tough.
exactly. So I
Just
think
buy and walk away, I guess. Just buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and walk away and just don't look at it ever, which
yeah,
is
but it's really
difficult.
hard, like human nature, right? You're curious, and especially if you work in the finance, like obviously one of the things you do is probably
Yeah,
check on
and
prices and
price is a
stocks.
really attractive distribution model. If someone buys something for 100 today and tomorrow it's
Yeah.
200, that's
Mm.
very alluring. That's really a way to get people into this gravy train, let's say, whatever it is. Um, the reason why people join Bitcoin or crypto in the beginning is usually for money.
Yeah.
And it's very attractive because, yeah, it's super easy money if you cash it right. But the problem is, yeah, it's easy come, easy go. And it
Exactly.
goes super easy, man.
It does. It does. Exactly. If you don't know how to control your emotion, yeah, it will probably go pretty easy. I think you
Yeah.
also mentioned to me briefly that you also did some like mining, right? Do you want to share a bit about that?
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah, that was
interesting.
a cool story, man.
Yeah.
We did 2017. So we did the trading first, then we just started buying cryptocurrency.
Mm.
Our core portfolio was literally a Bitcoin and Ethereum
Yeah.
and a bit of Litecoin, the standard. we had some shit coins, obviously, and it was a great thing. But then we were like, okay, now we want to mine this. And back then, as happened in this previous bull run as well, the graphics cards just ran out. You could not find them. And if you could, it was like 5 times the price, 4 times the price, 3 times the price.
Ouch.
But what we did have is so I started this thing with another T-Bird friend of ours, Fabian.
Yeah. Oh, Fabian. Okay.
Yeah. So, and he was in Berlin.
Yeah.
Or, well, in Germany somewhere. It was in Bremen, actually.
Yeah.
And his brother was in Barcelona. And we were like looking all over. I was looking all over South Africa. He was looking all over Germany. His brother then was looking all over. And we found some stuff in Spain. Dude,
really?
We flew out to Spain. We literally flew to Spain to get these graphics cards because we got them at cost.
Really?
And we got the tax back because like I'm South African. So leaving the EU, we get the taxes back as well. So we only found like 18 graphics cards or 17 graphics cards, but we literally bought all the stock in Barcelona. We found 3 shops and we went to each one. And we just went to pick up the graphics cards and bought a whole bunch of graphics cards in Barcelona, a bunch of motherboards, everything at retail price minus taxes. So while everyone couldn't get graphics cards, or that they could and they were paying like 3 times the price, we were like getting a discount and we were getting some graphics cards. And we started mining Ethereum like 1 a day back then. Like, yeah, we got it was those like RTX 5. I still remember those. Those are good times. Now you get whatever.
That's a lot.
Yeah. We were busting through that stuff, but then you go through this roller coaster of like you're making. Then like it goes from 1 a day to 1 every 2 days, then 1 every 2 days to 1 every 3, then 1 a week, and then you're like, man, this is 4 a month. We were like doing this in a week, in less than a week, and then you start to say, well, this rig costs us $3,000. $3,000 can buy us, I don't know, 20 Ethereum. Should we actually just buy and not mine? Because mining is, dude, we set up the mining rig in Macedonia. It's cheap electricity.
I see.
Winter was coming, so like, it's cold, which is great for the mining rig. And my dad's very technically savvy, so we just put it in my dad's office. And it was good for him because it was like a bit of like free heating in a way.
Yeah.
But it was good for the graphics cards because, it was colder in Macedonia. But we went hardcore on mining. We bought some, I forget how it's called, like the Bitcoin miners.
You mean like the Bitcoin mining machine?
The Ant machine, that S9 or whatever it's called.
I don't think I would know that.
The terminology of hash miners. I don't know if it was that's the terminology, but this is way back when. ASICs, we bought a whole bunch of ASICs.
Yeah.
Dude, and what we did actually before mining is, I don't think this website exists anymore, but there was like a cloud mining solutions. So we first went and bought cloud mining, like terahashes on this website.
So they would mine for you and then give you or something?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it was amazing. Dude, it was amazing. Get an email every day. Here's some money. Amazing. But then we were like, this is expensive. Why don't we just do it ourselves? And mining was cool though. Yeah, it's fun times.
I see. So how long did you mine it for? What happened in the end?
So what happened in the end was obviously, I think 2018, the crash happened.
Yeah.
Dude, when you make so much money and you're just, we're young kids, like we don't know what's going on. So we're just panicking, panic sell. Then
so
it like goes back up. Yeah, then it goes back up, then you buy everything again, and then it starts going back down again. And then, so we did a bunch of bad trades. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is, we just sold the graphics cards and things like that.
I see.
Didn't make much on the graphics cards, but we made some good money on Bitcoin, like Ethereum and Bitcoin. But how much we lost is like a sickening amount. So
man, that's crazy. I bet. Yeah, no. Like I said, I think it's really hard to just fight against like human nature, right? Because I think you do have to be like also like a professional trader who does it for a living to control your emotion. I think that's like 90% of the game over there. It's quite crazy, but like I think most people lose for that reason. But that's why.
Yeah, anyway, dude, hodl gang.
It's crazy. Yeah,
it's hard. Done.
It's hard, man. Anyway, well, I'm sure that was a pretty fun experience though for you and
super
your friends.
Super fun. And we've gone through 2 cycles of that.
Yeah.
So in each cycle, we just kind of make more money, but we also lose more money.
You kind of learn how it is, but it's always like a new meta,
new narrative. We got scammed on this thing, dude. We were on like Bittrex. What were the other exchanges back then? I don't know. When did you get into crypto?
This is when I knew about Bitcoin like way back in like 2016, 17 already, but I didn't officially like deep dive into the industry until 2020. So during
Oh
COVID,
my
actually.
goodness, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
2020 is
are
when I
like
took the full plunge. Yeah.
we went into like we were trading on Poloniex,
Oh,
Bittrex.
Poloniex. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
There was
wow.
some hardcore
Really?
exchanges. Yeah,
Yeah,
way
because
before, you know.
I think some of them actually got bankrupt, and some also
Oh,
got
all of
got
them.
scammed. Yeah, exactly. Got scammed or got hacked, right?
I've gotten scammed a few times, dude. I've gotten scammed for like, I don't know, 1 Bitcoin and 26 Ethereum.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
happened. It's happened.
It
Yeah,
does. It
that was
does exactly.
it hurt a lot.
I bet. I bet. But I mean, but back then, one Bitcoin is probably much cheaper than now. Yeah. If now one Bitcoin is like, oh man, that's like
I
a
mean, it was still
huge
a lot of
fortune.
money back then, but yeah,
That's
now
true.
it's huge, huge, huge.
It
Back
is
then it
huge.
was, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. I
It's
think it was six
two,
thousand.
three thousand dollars. Okay.
It was like
True.
6,000. So it was still decent money. And I think, I don't know what Ethereum was, $400 or something like that, 300.
Yeah.
Still some decent money. I don't know, 10K, 12K.
That's true.
But yeah, now that's like way, way more. Now I don't think about
It
it.
is. Yeah, exactly. You just forget and learn. It's just like a lesson you learn in life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like a rite of passage, actually, as you say. People.
Dude, if you haven't gotten scammed, if you haven't lost your money on exchange, like if you haven't lost your money on FTX, dude, I lost so much money on FTX now. I
Oh
mean,
shit.
I'm in
Oh,
this claim process. They gave me an email the other day. Like, I
FTX
feel like I'm in
available
the
in
final
Euro?
stitch. No, I was in FTX US. So I did a whole
Ouch.
bunch of,
Okay.
I did a
But
whole bunch of tax stuff right now. So
I
hopefully
see.
they,
But I think they make people whole though, FTX US, because they had a lot of like, I think if I remember reading the news, they had a lot of in like before the company collapsed, right? They had like a FTX venture. They invested a bunch of money in like some other thing, and then
mm,
so they use that to basically, so whatever like asset they have
dude,
is slowly
let's
paid out,
hope.
right? Yeah. Well, anyway,
I don't know.
I'm
I
not a
just
legal
did my
expert, but
tax return. Yeah, I
yeah.
just did my tax return, or I don't know what they asked me for some tax information, literally just the other day, and I
Mm.
sent it. And then there's like 8 steps. I'm on step 7, so I think the next step is for them to try to make me whole, which will be amazing. I would love that. But
Yeah.
yeah, FTX
But I
took
think
me
that, yeah,
down.
don't I mean I don't want to like drag you down, but usually any of these like legal procedure gonna take years, right? Sometimes it get
Yeah,
drag on for years. So in Japan, there's I forgot the name of the exchange right now. There's one Mt. Gox, right?
yeah, dude,
The
Mount
original
Gox,
in Japan, like 10 years and they haven't paid out yet. So I mean, don't just
but
I'm
that's
saying
game over.
don't get hopes
Yeah,
up. Yeah, but
yeah,
like people, it was like 2015, I think 2014 actually, and it's like 10 years now, right? And people haven't. I think
yeah.
slowly, finally, they got back their money, something in
Crisis.
10 years. So anyway, that's the world of crypto we live in. But anyway, before we deep dive into your current company, can you share with us what you do
Mhm.
for fun outside of your job?
Man, yeah, fun. Honestly, right now has just been a lot of traveling. So our company is fully remote. So, and most of my work is very asynchronous. So
Hmm,
yeah, we just got back from a long stay in Bali. But yeah, lots of traveling, like travel 7, 8 months out of the year. And then,
that's awesome.
so yeah, travel everywhere. Lots of exercise. Dude, I got hugely into exercise. Like,
Really nice.
probably not at as dedicated a level as you, but honestly, I
Hmm.
almost became like a amateur boxer. I was training like 3 hours a day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I had a
That's
fight and
intense.
everything. Yeah, dude, I actually had a fight during COVID, and then it had to get canceled because of COVID. So that was
Damn.
going to be like my second debut. So
Really.
probably my mom's happy that it didn't happen. But yeah, I'm huge into sports, huge into combat
Hmm.
sports, gym, calisthenics, dude. I love calisthenics. Just doing pull-ups, push-ups, squats, like
Yeah.
body
So
weight.
that's what I do mainly these days. By the way, that's calisthenics is what I
Yeah.
do.
Oh,
What I
dude,
train
we gotta
on
do a little
mainly.
sesh.
Yeah,
We gotta do a
exactly. Yeah,
sesh. I'm coming.
exactly. Yeah, whenever we probably reunite in this little small world for T-Bird, right? Thunderbirds, then for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, no, I love calisthenics. Yeah, I train a lot
Would
actually. I train like
Okay, amazing.
twice
Yeah.
a week. Wait, so
Nah.
what country were you gonna debut your MMA fighting in? But
Dude,
then
it
it
was in
never
South
happened.
Africa. I mean, we
Oh,
still
really?
had our first fight in South Africa. Dude, we had a
Yeah,
Cassius Baloy, which was like he was the most successful South African boxer ever. He was our
yeah.
coach. Like, so we went full, like, really into this,
That's
dude. I was
awesome.
training 3 hours every day, every day, non-stop, just 7 days a week. On weekends, honestly, it was like 4 hours. I was
Crazy.
hardcore. I'd wake up at four
Wow.
in the morning, train till like 6, shower, go to work, do work, finish work at like 4,
Yeah.
from 4 till 6, somewhere there. Work out again, shower, come home, eat, and then like just probably just read a book and sleep. It was such an intense time, man.
Were
But I
you
really had a vision. I was gonna be Rocky, dude. I really had. I fucking believe. Sorry, I don't know how we can swear or not.
feel free to?
I really believed it. I really believe. I mean, so much so that like even my Instagram, like my bio turned into like soon to be boxer or something stupid like that,
Yeah.
like naive.
That's
Yeah,
freaking
it was
awesome,
intense.
But yeah, I think that would have been funny if you actually turned into one, though. Yeah,
Dude, I would
like
have loved
that would
it.
be crazy, man.
I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be Rocky, dude, because I went to
Yeah,
my first class and they're like, have you done this before? And I was like, no. And they're like, you're actually like a natural. Like, I thought you've been training a while. Like, your punch is very good. It's strong. The technique is actually pretty good. And I was like,
that's crazy.
say no more. I'm freaking Canelo Alvarez. Let's go. Mike Tyson right now.
That's freaking
And I
awesome,
went all
man.
in after that, dude.
Yeah,
Crisis. So, yeah.
yeah.
I guess for fun, lots of exercise, dude. I really do a lot of exercise, lots of travel, and then lots of like just knowledge in general.
I
Either
see.
reading like philosophy or psychology or even business, dude. It's super interesting. Like, I'm just curious, and whatever piques my curiosity for however long it piques it for, I just go into that. I lean into it.
For sure, for sure. And I think for a lot of T-Bird, Thunderbirds like us, I think we just like do lifelong learning, right? Keep learning, even after graduate. I've also picked up a lot more books as well after I graduated because I feel
What
like, yeah,
are you reading anything right
oof, there's
now, or read
so many
anything really
actually. I
good
mean, yeah,
lately that stands out?
the most recent book that I finished actually is Black Swan. You probably might have heard of it.
Oh,
Black
nice,
Swan
dude.
by
Talib. Yeah.
Nassim
Mr.
Taleb.
Nicholas
Yeah,
Talib. Yeah.
it's great.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, like psychology, and also how he actually said. Oh, I think one of the interesting thing I remember he said is like it's really hard to predict the future, but so when people invite him to like some event, they expect him to do some prediction. But he said like he's not gonna do any prediction because that's the thing about black swan, man. You're not supposed to predict them, right? If you can predict them, it's not black swan anymore. Exactly, you cannot.
Dude, who
That's
would
why
have
he doesn't
predicted
do.
2020, man? Like,
Yeah,
crazy. I couldn't
crazy,
believe
right?
that they
But
sent
black
us
swan.
home. Like, dude, the bank sent me home before. So the banks knew way before that there was going to be lockdown. So they
Yeah.
were like weeks before actual lockdown, they were sending people home, and they were like strategic units of the bank were getting sent home. So that they can be like, okay, let's see, we need to operationalize this and digitize this. And dude, I was responsible for like 250 people, getting them online, digitizing like
Wow.
the whole market risk division and credit risk division of a big bank in South Africa.
Yeah.
I did all that stuff. It was intense. It was a very fun time.
Wow.
Lots of training, lots of like meetings, and
That's
just
crazy.
getting people up to speed. But yeah, I loved it. I really enjoyed it.
Wait, so these 250 people, are they, what department were they in? Are they in like
Yeah, all of them were in like credit risk and market risk. So like when
interesting.
you have in banking or in finance, you have two primary risk factors, which is your credit risk. So that's like a loan, how likely
Yeah.
they're going to repay a loan, and market risk. And that's like interest rate risk or risks on like assets that you trade. So
Was it
it's kind of
mainly
like
for
price
the,
risk
was it
and
mainly for
investment
the,
banking. South Africa. Yeah, but that bank was very strategic even for Africa. So like a lot of the risk that other countries had, or understanding their risk data, was actually handled in the South African branch. So
wow,
we did,
interesting.
there was Kenya, Ghana. There was a couple countries that used South Africa as their like risk engine.
I see.
But banks they have so much money, dude. They just threw money at the problem. We solved it, I think, quite well, and we had time. We went remote like in January, and March is when the lockdown happened.
Damn, crazy. I'm curious. Is there a reason? Is 250? Is that, do you think that's like too many people, too little people? What
I have
do
no
we need
idea.
250? Okay, I'm
No,
curious.
probably not.
Do you really need 250 people? I'm just thinking out
No.
loud. Like probably
Yeah,
not.
no, you
Okay.
don't. You don't. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, especially in this day and age. But I think banks they need at least double the capacity, because you kind of like, you don't want to be running at 100% capacity. You
I
actually kind
see.
of want to run at 50, because some disaster is going to happen, whether they have to work longer hours, or someone gets sick, or someone quits, and you have a like reduced
Replacement.
headcount.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have to have a buffer. And then, of the 250, then they get lazy. So like probably that stuff could be done with 50 people,
I see.
but
Makes
you
sense,
need
right?
100
Yeah.
to have the buffer. But then the 100 is like, they get lazy. So now you have to have a buffer of the 100, which is another 100 people. And yeah, that's just how the game works.
That's amazing, man. That's crazy. So basically, like 50 people just chilling, and like, why is the other? So that maybe like out of 250,
Oh
maybe
yeah,
20% will do the work, right? Yeah,
yeah. I
do the
mean,
actual work. Yeah,
yeah. No one's gonna watch this from my work, so it's fine. But
yeah.
dude, I honestly like eventually like I operationalized my stuff so well. I was probably doing like 2 hours a day.
Oh,
So
that's
like
awesome. Yeah.
realistically, I could do the whole month's worth of work in a week.
Mm.
So imagine, and that's from my side. So like they've definitely got like a 3-to-1, 4-to-1 ratio of like headcount to productivity or output. Like
Yeah,
they definitely have bloated teams.
I
And you
see.
saw Twitter, 5% of the people gone,
Yeah,
and Twitter was like releasing more features than ever has. It's been more stable than it ever was. You know, and that's a
it's
tech
true.
company. So imagine a
Yeah,
bank which is super legacy and way back thinking.
that's crazy. Wow. Yeah, and I think now, especially with like the rise of AI, like probably more and more. I mean, even productivity
Dude,
rise up, right? You probably don't even need that
my
many people.
productivity is crazy. We're like a one-man band in a way.
Yeah.
We have
Mm.
developers, obviously, they work with the clients
Yeah.
directly, so I don't have to manage them. But yeah, I don't need like, we do search engine optimization. So we have an SEO strategy, and the content we create, 80% is AI, and then I'll come in and fix some stuff. Even LinkedIn content that we create, a lot of AI helps us with the content, and then I'll rewrite it. But like all the topics come through that. Even cold email and like getting in front of people, we use Chat GPT to like, I give it
Yeah.
a bunch of data and I give it a bunch of prompts. And
Mm.
so like instead of paying people that will do like cold outreach for me and paying people that will do content creation for me and paying people that will do blog posts for me, you literally have just ChatGPT or Claude or one of these AI solutions, and they will do something there very well. Like we wouldn't exist if we weren't so technology enabled. We wouldn't
Yeah.
exist, or we'd need to take a lot of funding because I'd need to pay for like all this headcount.
Yeah, I bet for sure. Yeah, so I think probably that was a perfect segue now to deep dive into your current company, right? Lambda Group, you leading here. Feel free to
Okay,
share
nice.
the presentation, talk about the history, how you founded, or who are the people you work with, things like that. Yeah, feel free to.
Nice, nice. So what
Yeah,
can I do here is let's do a little share screen, and I will
sure.
just do a 10-second pitch here, and then I'll come back and stop sharing.
Okay,
But
sure.
yeah, basically, you guys can see this.
Let's see.
I'm
Yeah,
hoping. Yeah, nice.
yeah.
Yeah, we basically we started we saw a huge demand for technology developers, and there weren't very many good ones, and so we thought we'd start a dev shop. We would just be like, we'll develop things for you. I was very good at managing developers and building product and finding talent to build that product. So that's how we originally started. It was just a dream of building technology for other people, which is what I was good at. And now it's actually moved away from that because it's very time consuming. So now our thing is completely staff augmentation. Our offer is literally, we'll get you whatever developer you want for however long you want. And we do like a risk-free 4-week period where if you're not happy after 4 weeks, we don't charge you, you don't pay. We'll try to get you another developer, obviously, because we don't want to lose a client. But basically, we guarantee our work. And that's us in a nutshell. We're literally like a dev house that will get you whatever developer you need. And we focus on South Africa and Macedonia, or actually the Balkans. So kind of
Okay.
how I thought of it was originally we started as a thing from the Balkans, like a Macedonian, I'm Macedonian. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, let me get Macedonian tech talent, which are very good, and get projects and I'll manage them and we'll build whatever software the client wants.
Okay.
But dude, I was swamped. It was easier business back then. During COVID, everyone needed to do some kind of digitization work, but I was becoming the bottleneck, and I really don't know technology that well. So I'm not like a CTO, and it was very stressful. So we moved away from that. Instead of us taking all the technology risk, let's say, we actually said, hey, you're already taking technology risk. Let's help de-risk that by bringing you amazing tech talent that you will manage. And then I'm not the bottleneck. I'm completely out of the picture. I'm in the picture in the beginning, making sure that the project's running smoothly. But right now, it's very like white glove service. I'll get you everyone on board them nicely. And after a month, I'm gone. I'm not the bottleneck of that client. I can focus on getting new clients, on doing whatever we need to do to grow the business. So yeah, that's kind of staff augmentation. And yeah, we chose South Africa and the Balkans because like that's kind of where I'm from. I know those two markets really well. I don't think there's a lot of people, there's a lot of people that say like, here's tech talent from India or Asia, like Philippines, or here's Latin American tech talent. There's 20 companies I can think of at the top of my head, but there's not too many companies that can say, hey, I'll get you tech talent into South Africa. So we have like a more unique selling proposition to the clients like that. So I kind of made myself a business. I said, hey, I'm good at technology and I know these two geographies. How do I turn that into a business? And I was like, well, let's just get tech talent from those geographies onto clients. And most of our clients are UK. Although we're expanding, like, I guess it would be west to America. We've got an American client now. I'm going to go hard on pushing for America because it would be amazing to just keep expanding our markets.
Yeah, and for sure, I think the American market is pretty big. So when you first began out, did you have like a network of developers already in Macedonia and
oh man,
South
we made
Africa?
So many mistakes. Dude, I burnt through so much money. So we had good network, which, yeah, you have to have a good network. Even if you don't, you'll find it very quickly. You just have to network your hard. But yeah, I was obviously like a person of like headcount is a measure of success. So like we scaled to like 5 people very quickly, and dude, we were just burning money and not getting a lot of clients or getting something, but it's like a 3-month project. So you get good cash flow and then it's like feast or famine and lots of famine. And we went through a very faminous period where we just had one client and they were actually also a T-Bird, a Thunderbird, Yakub. Nice. I don't know if you remember Yakub.
Yakub. Oh yeah, I remember Yakub. Yeah. I remember
He's still our client actually.
Nice.
But yeah, I moved away. Then I was like, no ways. I don't want to do this risk. I don't want to take on their technology deliverables. And we just moved to staff augmentation. So now it's like, I'll get your contractor onto your project. I'll manage all the payments, all the legal stuff. I'll do all the recruiting, all the hiring, all the technology, whatever. If they need some kind of laptop or something special, I'll get it. You just pay me a fee, or you just pay me every month for that developer, basically renting them from me. We're kind of like Amazon in a way. Like we sell before we buy. So we will sell a developer and then we'll go into the market and buy that developer.
I see.
And that way, and then when the person is sold and on the project for however long they are, that's amazing. And when they're off the project, they're off our payroll as well. So then I don't have a cost of this developer when the client is gone, which is what I used to have before. We had all these developers. We had none of the projects coming in, but we had all the costs.
I see.
So yeah, when you start a business, it's going to change so much, dude. Yeah, we had one vision and it's completely changed to another vision.
I see. So these developer basically they're like contractor to your company as well, and then from there
if you want to think about it very simply, I find contracts and I subcontract that out.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I see. And I mean, I even treat development houses because we still get these projects that they're like, hey, we want an app built. And I'm not going to lose that money. So I just say, hey, I've got like 70 developers in Ukraine or in Estonia or in Serbia. Ship it off to those guys. And those guys, I'll say, hey, do you want a $200,000 deal? And they'll say yes. And then I'll say, well, I'm going to charge you $40,000 for the 200. And then everyone's going to say yes. Because if I told you, hey, I'll give you $100,000, but you have to give me $20,000, you'd say yes. So it's a no-brainer offer for those dev houses because they get business. So and I don't lose it.
I see.
And I never thought it's been interesting. Interesting strategy.
You partner with a lot of these dev houses, right? And then offer like
because we definitely don't want to lose stuff. Like the guys in Ukraine, we actually had a Web3 project. Really? And the guy reached out to us and I was like, well, we don't do Web3, but I know these guys in Ukraine do. And I was like, well, here you go. Like, just push them off to them. And then I just say, hey, okay, when you get the project, let me know how much money it is, and I'll send you an invoice.
Nice. What sort of project was it?
What is it? It was like a Web3 wallet. They wanted to do a wallet, integrate with some blockchain, Solana, and I guess create some kind of NFT marketplace.
I see. Yeah, I think those are pretty common type of projects that deliver in Web3. Yeah.
Exactly.
And to be honest,
it was something along those lines.
Yeah, developing NFT marketplace is one way. It's really simpler now. Developing wallet is, I guess, depend on what ecosystem, but developing wallet, it's depend. There's also easy wallet, there's hard wallet, or secure, non-secure, and what type of feature you need, things like that. Yeah, there's so many things.
I'm sure now it's much easier. As this ecosystem develops, it becomes easier and easier.
Yeah, you have more tools now, basically, to supplement the life of the developer. So like you can use a lot of existing like libraries and framework, similar to in Web2, right? You have a lot of libraries and framework. You can just reuse them over and over again just to make life easier.
Exactly. Yeah, so
that's really cool.
Yeah, we've had one or two. We also had Nifty Finance was another one. NFT Finance, something.
Yeah.
That guy was that was like our first Web3 Web3 thing.
Wait, so how many founders were there in the beginning for in your company?
Honestly, there was two, me and my friend. But yeah, he had like a kid. He saw how risky it is, how much stuff we just weren't getting, how many deals we were not getting, and so he left. And now it's just me.
I see.
Which is much better outcome for me.
Do you have any employees you manage, or just mainly the contractors and things like that?
Yeah, it's all contractors. So like, what I want to also show clients is like, you can build a business with contractors. We still save clients money compared to like UK market or US market. Sure. So we still save them money. And I say, hey, like, I can build my business based off contractors and have a profitable company and a valuable company. And so can you. So, like I'm kind of buying what I'm selling in a way.
That's true.
So it's kind of the proof.
Yeah. So do you need any freelancers or for any other extra things that might need work, like accounting,
to be honest,
legal?
It's so easy to find.
Yeah.
So easy to find talent now, like especially in this market. It's really a buyer's market right now. Accounting, legal, stuff like that. Honestly, we have an accountant. Legal is not so difficult. We mostly work with startups and they're just like desperate. So they're just like, listen, just send me the invoice. Give me something good and send me the invoice. So legally, there are some more barriers, but we don't play in that space. Like actually what we do, like our business, if we went to like more upmarket enterprise, we wouldn't be able to do business with them because
it'd be very tough for sure. Yeah. There's a lot of rules and compliance, right?
Yeah. The compliance thing is actually they have to be permanent employees of my company for me to work with them. And that's not what we do. We really keep contractors because especially in Europe, they want employees because it's impossible to fire. Or very expensive. So the legal system is geared towards that, especially in the bigger space. Like if you want to work with a bank, they're not going to let you have basically subcontract stuff out. They're going to be like, okay, you need to have a dev shop with 20 developers that you pay. Even when we leave, you will still be paying them.
Yeah.
So legally there's stuff like that, but we just don't play in that space.
I see. Yeah, but I think knowing what niche or what sort of client you cater to is also super important.
Yeah,
you want to play an area where you have strength. You don't want to play in where you have weakness. Yeah,
exactly.
I think there's a lot of dev shops that already cater to the big enterprises already, for sure. Like especially here in Japan where I'm living, actually, there are a lot of big corporation here, and I think some of the IT legacy system here. If you see it, I'm sure you'll be shocked to how some of the old legacy system and some of the traditional companies here.
The stuff that I've seen in like modern establishments and very forward-thinking places, Excel is really the backbone of the world.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
it is,
yeah. I will not be shocked. What I was shocked at is I found out that actually like Japan is a huge outsourcing hub for America. American companies really push a lot of work to Japan. And I was like, what the hell? There's time zone differences, there's culture differences, there's language barriers. But Japan is huge for outsourcing technology from America to Asia. I was very surprised by that.
Really? Okay.
Another thing that I was surprised by is the salaries in Japan. It's not amazing for developers, actually. Like, I thought Japan is like, obviously Tokyo is like super expensive. So I said, okay, if the city is super expensive, developers must be. But dude, I have a friend whose like girlfriend is a senior developer. And when I look at their like salaries, I'm just like, actually, this is like, I should be sourcing from Japan.
Yeah. But to be honest,
very I think interesting market.
I think there might be one misconception about Japan. Actually, living costs in Japan, it's not that expensive, to be honest, compared to like USA. If you compare to Miami, New York City,
if you compare to
San Francisco, or even Los Angeles, actually, then it is.
But if you compare to those cities, tier one of the first world countries, it's definitely gonna be cheaper. But I would still imagine it's way more expensive, dude. Like India was so cheap. I was in India for a while.
for sure.
My
Compared to India,
goodness, dude, 50 cents, $50 like euro cents for breakfast, and you're like, my goodness, where do you even make money on this thing? I had a driver.
They do. They make money actually.
Dude,
You'll
yeah.
be surprised. Yeah.
I was in Mumbai and I had a driver. I rented a car, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna be driving the car. I rented
You don't
it
want to
was like
drive in India.
$35. Yeah,
I don't think you want to drive in. No, you don't. Trust me. Yeah.
$35. I had a driver for 8 hours.
Yeah.
8 hours.
Yeah.
All the fuel was covered. I had a
know.
car rented, and I had a person waiting for me wherever I wanted to go for 8 hours for less than $40. Dude, that's the cheap stuff. Yeah, that was insane.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, if you compare India, then yeah, for sure. But you compare Japan to Europe, I would say Japan is still much cheaper than Europe too. For most of the Western Europe, I would say, yeah. And also recently, like the yen is actually really weakening compared to the rest of the country.
There's a yen carry trade that's huge.
True. It is too, and that's why now there's a lot more tourists coming to Japan now, from USA, from everywhere actually. Yeah, so time to go.
I was gonna come to Japan now, actually. It's just I was tired of traveling, dude. We were traveling for like 7 months with my girlfriend, and I was just like, I need to go back and work. It's a very competitive market now. Like we haven't, we actually started the year. We had this client for like 2 years, and they ended our contract. So we actually started the year losing a contract.
Oh damn, that sucks. Yeah.
It's BAU, like literally. And we had so many potential sales deals that didn't close or get like pushed forward. Like, let's talk again in 3 months. 3 months later, they're like, okay, no, let's actually talk again in 3 months. So much stuff was happening. Like everything was getting pushed forward that I was just like, no, I can't travel anymore. I need to just go home and actually focus on getting clients.
I see. Yeah. No more like, so no more margarita on the beach and then just focus, right?
Dude, yeah, exactly. But I will still have very nice LinkedIn posts.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw some of those. Yeah, interesting. Looks like you had some really fun vacation there. Like I can see that.
Yeah, it was a great, great
Mm.
experience. But
Wait,
yeah,
so
now it's time to monk mode.
Yeah, I bet. Wait, what would be like a typical day for you? Like, I'm curious. Can you share with us? Like, is there a typical day for you? Like, what do you do on a daily basis? Rough. Just
So
curious.
when we're traveling, typical days are very not typical.
Yeah.
So in general, we work, we exercise, and we take a nap. That's kind of like 3 almost non-negotiables.
Yeah.
But when we are like, in monk mode, then it's like wake up very early, like 6 o'clock in the morning, do like 2-3 hours of work, and then have a breakfast, go to the gym, come back, do another hour or 2 of work, take a nap, have lunch, bust out a couple hours of work, stop, probably read or watch some like anime. I'm a huge anime snob, or not snob, I don't know, addict.
Yeah.
So just to cool down. But yeah, it's mostly work, exercise, and learning.
Interesting.
Yeah, work is like more like studying. Man, you like to just keep learning new ways to reach clients. Like new tools that you can leverage to get clients.
For sure. Because
so
I think a lot of it, you have to keep like a constant pipeline, right? Like your pipeline, like a
that's
funnel.
The thing. Your funnel. You have to have this top of funnel. You have to have a strategy for top of funnel. You have to have a strategy for middle of funnel, a strategy for bottom of funnel. You have to be like, okay, I've been doing this kind of marketing. Now let me try something else, and that stuff is also very expensive. Like, so also you have to start thinking about like, okay, I have only this much money. Where should it be spent? Should I stop spending here and start spending there? And starting a company is the craziest. It's the craziest thing you can ever do in your whole life.
I know, right?
Probably one of the dumbest things you could do in your whole life. But if you get it right, and that's a big if, but if you do, it's amazing. Dude, it's amazing that like right now we can have this conversation while I have developers working and making me money. Yeah. That is like mind-blowing to me.
It's super rewarding, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's super rewarding.
I think that's one thing that I don't think we learn it. I think even if you try to learn it, you cannot learn the exact how it's going to turn out, right? In schools, they don't usually teach you this. I didn't even attend the Thunderbird, right? I think I took some course on like entrepreneurship, but when it comes to actually doing the real thing, man, it's completely different. Exactly, right? Yeah, like you learn the theory and then practice is like completely different.
just do practice. Just go into the deep end. Like if someone wants to start a business, if someone's watching this and it's like, I'm thinking about it, just go. Stop thinking. Just freaking do it. Open a website. Figure out a way where your customers are. If they're on LinkedIn, if they're on Facebook, if they're on Reddit, if they're on Instagram, if they're on YouTube, if they're on podcasts. Where do the customers congregate, and how do you reach them? Paid ads, cold email, cold calling, content creation, TikTok, Twitter, like where are you going to find them? And then service them. And that's it. And just do that. And once it's done, be like, okay, how do we double this? How do we double this? How do we double that? Dude, we send like 1 million emails a year right now. That's great. Cold emails. Yeah. When I started, we sent like 1,000 a month. So like 10,000. Then we went up to like 100,000 a year. And I was like, that's amazing. 100,000 cold emails, 100,000 people that didn't know about us. And now they do. Now it's 1 million. Like I would have never guessed that. So cold calling is another thing that we're going to start investing in. And now we have to be like, where do we get the data from? What tools should we use to run the cold calls? How much is that all going to cost me? What am I going to say on the cold call? So you have to start learning so much stuff.
I bet. Yeah. I think that's what's exciting. The joy of it. So I guess after experimenting with so many different channels, and what has been your most, I would say like your top 3 or top 2 channels that have been really successful for you? What do you say?
Honestly, I love cold email, dude. I know people they think it's very spammy and stuff like that. Dude, if you get cold email right, you're going to be printing money, and it's so much fun, dude. You wake up and your inbox could have a potential client that could make you $50,000. So it's like so exciting. It doesn't happen often. But when you get that email that says, let's get on a call, we actually do need this, and you can help the client, oh, it's amazing. And dude, yeah, we have 150 email accounts sending emails every single day. What are we doing? We're literally sending like 5,000 emails a day.
Really? Okay. So you basically have set up like a pipeline and automate the entire
huge,
process.
Huge, automated. Right. Yeah. So dude, it allows you to scale so amazingly without your time. So there's no bottleneck of you.
Yeah.
It's really a financial bottleneck kind of thing. But yeah, I haven't tried ads, for example. I tried it, but we didn't invest enough time and money into it. So yeah, I love cold email. It's very affordable. It's very scalable. And if you have a good offer, and if you're not spammy, if you actually want to help people, it's a great way to get your business out there.
Yeah, I think that's really awesome. I think it's a lot of it have to do with the offer, right? How do you entice it? And yeah, I think I don't think I'm not super familiar with cold email. I've done a few in the past, but for some of my side business, but it wasn't. I guess of course I didn't send it to the scale of what you're doing. Right?
Yeah, so you have to do obviously massive scale. You have to have massive scale.
It's like a numbers game, right? Yeah.
Yes, it's a numbers game, but also you have to be like, how do I speak to this person? Different people want to be told different things. How do I find a pain point for that person? And you have to do that at scale. It's very easy to find a pain point for one person. You just go onto the LinkedIn and be like, oh, this guy's been speaking about not being able to hire a sales rep. But try to do that at scale. It's a very difficult problem to solve.
That's true. And then you have to refine your message, right? Make it better.
Yeah. You have
tailor
to keep
more to the person.
Test different messaging. So one offer can have 5 different messages, and you see which ones get the best response. And if that's the one that gets the best response, that's the one that you start to use on more people. Yeah. So, but it's exciting.
Double down the winning one, and
exactly. Throw away the losers, double down the winners.
Yeah.
But even content is quite a fun game to play, man. I've been enjoying creating LinkedIn content and networking that way. So you got to just find what you like doing that you can stick with and that you can do at least for 1 year. So if you can do it for a year, you'll figure it out. And once you figure it out, even if it doesn't work for that product or service, maybe it'll work for something else. Then you just push it for a different product, different service. Even if my business fails, I'm going to have so much skills on the distribution side of a business that I'm just going to find a different product or a different service, and I'm going to just plug that into my cold email infrastructure.
It's awesome. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, and I think a lot of these the skills you learn in entrepreneurship is basically would be transferable from one. So even if you fail in your venture, you can totally transfer, right? It's not like you work at a regular 9-to-5 job. If you're in a particular function, you just only do that function, right, without doing anything. Whereas in entrepreneurship, you do a variety of everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously it's very scary if it fails because, dude, you've just lost so much money and you've probably spent like 5 years. So then it's like someone that's been in the job market for 5 years working their job is so much further ahead. But if you're smart and if you actually stacked some skills into it, 5 years of entrepreneurship is like a lifetime as an employee. Sure. So then you're actually way further ahead of them. It just doesn't feel that way. It's like holding, just hodling.
Yeah.
It's so difficult. But that's the right strategy. Same thing with entrepreneurship. You just got to hodl your skill sets. But no one hodls. They just move from like, oh, cold email didn't work. Let me try cold DM. Oh, cold DM didn't work. Let me try YouTube. YouTube didn't work. Let me try podcast. Podcast didn't work. Let me try LinkedIn. Just freaking stick to something for a year. And it's also like the online marketing space. It's like change your life in 60 days, monk mode, 90 days. Dude, that's all bullshit. Those are all grifters that don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're literally selling you a dream. They're getting rich off of you. You're paying them to become rich. Like, that's it. That's it. You want to find something that you want to get rich at, you have to do it for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. So we've been doing this for like 4 years now. But realistically, like all in, 2.5. Because, it was difficult to get off the investment banking teat. It was lucrative. It was warm. It was tasty.
I bet.
But eventually we had to quit. 2022 is when we quit, actually, or 2021, late 2021. I took 2 months off. November and December, basically, I took off. I did no work. And then January 1st, 2022, until now, I've basically not taken leave. I've just been grinding.
I see.
But we've built a 6-figure business from it. So it's been great.
That's awesome. So basically, you were still working in investment banking on like the first year, right? Try out, testing out the water, see if it works, right?
Yeah, it was almost more than a year and a half. Yeah, it was October 31st or whatever it is our last day, 2021. And COVID started 2020. And we started the company mid-2020, somewhere there. Actually, it was like in August 2020. I actually remember a lot of these dates. I have like a diary. So I also journal, not as much when I travel. I used to journal daily. Now it's more like weekly. Sometimes monthly, but I have very specific dates that I very specifically remember of. This is when the business started. This is when we went all in. This is when I stopped working. This is when we had our first client. This is when we made our first like $100,000 a year of sales. Stuff like this. Important milestones.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think those are good memories to keep, and also just to motivate yourself and see how far you're coming along, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And you learn so much, dude. It's fun. It's just that you do want to get rewarded financially as well. And that's the difficulty part. Like, you see so many other people making money, even in regular jobs. Like, I could make 6 figures in a corporate job with working not too hard. And that's like very appealing.
Yeah,
but
for a lot of people,
I just have to bite down, knuckle down, and not do that. Don't go fall into that trap. I fell into it. It's a nice trap. I don't blame people for being in there. But it's cool to be your own boss. It's cool to start a business. Dude, we're like, we've done business in Brazil, in America, in Kuwait, in Angola, in South Africa, in UK, in Germany, in Spain. Like, dude,
awesome.
That's awesome. Like, I would have never thought when we started. When we started, we did business in Macedonia and Kuwait, 2 countries, literally 2 countries when we started. Now
so these are the countries So these countries are where your clients are based, or where the developers are, or
mostly both? Where the developers are based, but clients, every European country that I mentioned and American, North or South American country I mentioned was clients. So like actual clients, Brazil, America, UK, Kuwait, Spain, and Germany. Maybe there's one more that I haven't thought of right now, and maybe Estonia. Yeah,
it's awesome.
And that's it. Wow. Yeah, so like that's crazy. I would have never guessed that shit when we first started.
Right.
But and no one's gonna tell you that.
Exactly. But I think you also make a quite interesting, good choice, right? I think you make like some type of optionality, right? Back at when you're doing the banking, and then but doing on the side to make sure if it works, and then you double down, right? So I think that's a common.
I think people should do that. Test it out on the side to be like, do I really want to do this? Because if you cannot have a job and do a side thing, honestly, you can't have a business. Because your job and side thing Those two things added together equals running a business. So if you cannot do those two things, why can you do this? How can you think you can do this, but you can't do those two? So do those two. See how difficult it is. See how much hours you have to put in. See how much stress you have to handle. See how much you have to focus. See how much you have to sacrifice. See how much you have to deal with uncertainty, stress, unpredictability, learning and stuff. And if you can do that for a year, quit your job and go all in on this thing. And have some money. Dude, I had some savings. We burned through everything, dude. We burned through everything. FTX is a big part of why we burned through everything. FTX really screwed me. We had like a good runway and then FTX collapsed. So we had like 1 month of runway by the time like we got our first very lucrative client. And then like 2 months later, we got another one. And that took us to a 6-figure business. And that was awesome. That saved our ass big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Were you keeping some of your savings in like FTX or something?
Yeah, dude, it was in USD. I wasn't even in Bitcoin. I was just like holding USD and not USDT. It was USD, the American dollar. And dude, then I start seeing this stuff on crypto Twitter, like panic. And I'm just like, FTX? Nah, this is a FUD. And then when I couldn't log into the account, then I was like, oh, this is real.
Then you realize, right? Yeah.
Then I was like, oh God, this money is gone. Yeah, that's some crazy shit. When you lose your savings and then you're running out of money and you don't have clients, try be an entrepreneur then. But I was fine. Honestly, it's not so bad, dude. I make it sound worse than it is. It's a little bit, let's say, embarrassing or whatever it is. A bit of a hit to the ego. But realistically, you just go back and have a job. Nothing's wrong with that. You were happy having a job before. You'll be happy after.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And at least you had the guts to go for it.
Yeah, and whatever skills you learn in entrepreneurship, I'm sure actually you'll be even more welcome back into the job place now that you're like way more qualified than a lot of your peers who
I'm like partner at a consulting firm.
Yeah, I'm sure if you want to, you can probably get that role if you want. But that's crazy.
It was a dream once upon a time, but no, now the dream is really build a 7-figure business that's very calm, that doesn't take a lot of my time, and that's exciting and that's interesting for me to build. And that's what we're currently doing. But we're nowhere near 7 figures.
Yeah. Do you? So actually, I've talked to a few other entrepreneurs on my podcast as well too. I think one of the entrepreneurs that I actually quite respect, he actually appeared on the like Shark Tank. I'll leave a linked episode up here later on in the US, and he said that like for him, it's actually important for him to have his own team, right? As he's skillful, but I mean, he has his hands in like so many different venture, right? So he has one venture where he didn't exist, and we also keep a team for handle a lot of the back office stuff because he's doing more a lot marketing, some other stuff as well, and then but he also want to explore with new other areas as well. He said he's like a business builder in the sense that he go 0 to 1. He's like a 0 to 1 guy. He told me on the podcast. So like,
there's very different people. 0 to 1 and 1 to 10 and 10 to 100.
Yeah.
I don't know where I am. Probably 0 to 1. Maybe I'm not too sure. But I know that my priority or preference rather is that I don't want to have a company of 100 people and be the CEO of that and like 100 permanent employees and stuff. That to me sounds like a nightmare. 20 people where I make 7 figures a year and I don't manage them. The client manages them and I don't have too many headaches. That's the dream. I want a 1-person business. I have an accountant, obviously. I have like a lawyer sometimes where I need to just get some paperwork done. But that's also contracted. Everything's contracted. Low touch, low touch from my side. Just being let's say, it is kind of like a middleman. But dude, the middleman is so important. Because
it is
who else is going to provide
though, right? Exactly.
Yeah, it's super hard, dude. And it's also like who else is going to provide you that service? Very few people are providing the service of South African tech talent to Europe, to America. Very many people are doing it from Japan to America, from India to America, from Thailand, the Philippines to America, or Latin America to America. Very many. Very few are doing what I'm doing. So it's like, okay, I'm a middleman, but I'm a valuable middleman. And at the end of the day, if I could make $1 million a year for 10 years, be a very, very happy person. And I think we can make it happen. It's just going to take a long time. Way longer than Money Twitter will tell you. Way longer than like some guru online is going to tell you.
For sure.
But I think that's the truth. If you want to make $1 million, it's probably going to take a 10-year thing. It's not a 90-day thing. not a 1 year thing.
For sure. Yeah, I think
It's a
and a
5
lot
to
of
10 year thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of the get rich quick influencer out there are just trying to, they make money off the few who buy in the package, right? I think we've seen a
You're
lot of them.
making them rich, literally. That's it.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
exactly how it's
I buy
happening.
into it.
I've fallen for it, dude. I've paid people for crypto, like I've paid a crypto trader, scammed me. I've paid, these people that are like, hey, join this 90-day, change your life in 90 days, or grow your business 90 days, guaranteed, blah, blah, blah. All bullshit. Give me $1,000 for a call. I'll change your business completely. Dude, that's not how business is made, man. Or not how I understand it. Maybe it is. Probably it is in some places. Social media can definitely accelerate a lot of these things. But at the end of the day, man, it takes a while to figure out social media. It takes a while to figure out content creation. It takes a while to figure out your niche. It takes a while to refine your offer. So that's just how the game works.
Would you ever consider hiring people to do some of the day-to-day operation for you that you're doing right now? I mean, a lot of the sales
we
and
have hired.
BD.
Yeah, we have actually hired recently. We've got these German guys, so they're helping us out with a lot of the outreach. I want to see how it goes. So we've committed like a couple $1,000s a month for that. We're gonna see if it works. Amazing. That's great. It'll be amazing if I just have the idea and I just have people that do the execution. But I don't know. We're gonna try it. I'm not super good at delegation. I'm very risk averse to like you letting go of this thing, which is like your value proposition.
Yeah, but I mean,
we'll see if they can do it well.
But one thing if I've learned from many other entrepreneurs are like, I mean, you as an individual, right? You also have your own limit, bottleneck. 24 hours in a day. I mean, you have to sleep, you have to hang out with your girlfriend, you have to do whatever. And then so it's not like you can always work, right? So if you can outsource, basically, so you can double your productivity. Not outsource, but like add another person, right? And commit your team. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just feel like that would be. But of course, it's gonna take time to train, to get the person, like, can he or she provide the same quality of service as you do? Because obviously your market, your client best, right? It's gonna take time to do that. It takes time for training and learning the trust. Yeah, I mean, the reason I know this is also some of my like solopreneurs actually in my group circle. They also kind of facing because for some of the business, right, it bottleneck, right? At some point, your time is gonna be your bottleneck. Like, you're gonna be your own bottleneck, right? There's just so much work. There's just so much that you can do in a day before burning yourself out. Yeah.
But I really do believe with AI, with automation, with a lot of these tools, with technology, do things that scale. That one output is like, or one input is 10 outputs.
For sure.
Cold email scales massively. Content scales massively. YouTube, start making YouTube videos. Do these things where it's like, there's these sales reps working for you. A YouTube video of yourself is something that's working 24/7 for you. A LinkedIn post, Instagram post, we're so early still, like in my industry. Dude, I haven't even touched Instagram. I haven't even touched paid ads. I haven't even touched Twitter. I haven't even touched TikTok. I haven't even touched YouTube. I haven't even touched cold calling. It's like freaking out. And you can definitely do a lot of that stuff. Dude, when I first started making LinkedIn content, it took me like 12 hours to make a week's worth of content. Like literally a whole day and a half of making content. Didn't know what to do, how to write, blah, blah, blah. Now, 2 hours, 2 weeks worth of content. Cold email, similar. I used to spend 8 hours just cleaning the data, dude. Just cleaning the data. Now we have APIs connected to a whole bunch of other software that does this for you. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And then you have 2 weeks worth of cold email that's done for you. Writing the cold emails themselves. I used to write that stuff. Now, yes, I'll spend a lot of time on a prompt, but once that prompt is done, it's done. It will do it. So then cold email gets automated. Then content creation gets automated. Then in like a weekend, you can actually do all the content for the whole 2 weeks. And eventually you can do it in a weekend. You can probably do it for 4 weeks. And like, there's a lot of stuff that scales massively. Cold calling, you can't scale. That's a lot of limits on your time. But dude, there's a lot of stuff that you can do that is very automated, that scales really well. And if you have a very high ticket offer, ours is high ticket. Very high 5 figures or low 6 figures, you're not going to get a lot of sales calls. But when you get a call that closes, it's a huge deal.
Yeah.
So we don't go for volume or quantity. We really want a few deals, but very profitable deals.
Yeah.
So that's like our business is geared towards not doing a lot of sales calls, not doing a lot of marketing all the time. But when you get something super meaningful.
Yeah.
So
I feel like
we're
for
not
the high
really the
ticket,
bottleneck.
yeah, I feel like a high ticket offer, right? Do clients want to have a personal touch or human touch? No,
Yeah,
is it?
but
Yeah, like for high ticket
they get
offer.
on a call with me. They get on a few meetings with me, a few
Yeah.
meetings with the developer, and then it's done. Then my high touch is done.
Yeah.
Then let that contract run for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on to the next one while that
That's awesome.
developer is servicing them every single day. So in a way,
Yeah.
I'm kind of doing that, like let's say outsourcing or contracting or partnering. I partner, they're like an employee. I find the work that needs to
Yeah.
get done and they do it. And I just carry on going finding work and
That's
finding
true.
people to do that work.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, I'm actually really glad to learn about how automation has improved at 10x. Yeah, I think back when we went to school, obviously a lot of this AI they were not mature
Dude,
enough to this point, right? Yeah, and now
but a
it's
lot of these
crazy.
things still existed back then, dude. Our teachers didn't know jack shit. Career coaches, useless. Dude, they didn't teach us LinkedIn well at all. They didn't teach us cold email well at
Tell
all.
me about it. Tell me about it. Yeah,
Dude, they really had no clue. If I
tell me
was
about.
back then, god damn, dude, I'd get a partnership, like I'd become a partner at Goldman. Like I know how to reach those people. So they didn't
Mm,
teach us about cold calling, cold emailing, cold. They were just like, hey, find someone that worked at Thunderbird or studied at Thunderbird or is working at a company you want to work at. That's one
mm,
strategy. It's not bad, but damn it, man. There's 50 other strategies. There's 50 other ones, and that they didn't teach any of
yeah,
those. They had no clue.
yeah.
There was automation back then, dude. There was automation back then. Maybe just not as readily accessible,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just because marketing of automation is so good right now. But it was still there. We just didn't know about it. Now lots of people know about it, but that's marketing. That's not product. The product was there. The
Yeah,
marketing, the distribution was not there.
that's true. That's
So
true.
for business, dude, it's all distribution. Screw the product.
Yeah,
Product doesn't matter shit. It's all distribution. How do you get a client? How do you find the people that want to buy what you have to sell? That's the only thing that matters. Once you find them, go freaking figure out how to service that. But even Bill Gates, dude, he sold a computer before he made it. Same with Apple, dude. He was just like, yeah, we've got that. We can do that. And then he was like, fuck, okay, we got to go do this shit. We've got a huge order for building these computers. Steve, go get in that garage and start like welding shit or soldering shit together. They all did it. They all sold before they bought. They didn't make the MacBook and then sell it. They were selling computers, pre-ordering basically, and then they'd go to that garage and build it. Same with
yeah,
Bill Gates. Like he was selling software, and then he was like, "Shit, I don't have this software. I need to make it right now." And then he made it.
yeah,
They were
yeah.
doing distribution over product. Everyone does distribution over product.
For sure,
It's
for sure.
all marketing.
Yeah, I think distribution is super key. Actually, even in Web3 nowadays too. Actually,
Dude,
because
especially in Web3.
yeah, especially in Web3, man. Yeah, trust me. Yeah,
Because how are you gonna get
it's
like, yeah,
huge.
oh, you're a decentralized, I don't know, smart contract platform? Yeah, you and fucking 500 other coins that launched today are that. So how are you gonna distribute to users? How are you gonna get in
No,
users? You know, and some people figured it out really well. Luna figured it out amazingly, Ash spectacularly as well. But they were like, hey, we give you 20% deposit, and we have this coin burning mechanism, and that's their distribution, and they did
yeah.
a great job at it. And then
Well, I'm not
lots of
sure
people
how.
lost a lot of
Yeah,
money.
yeah. Well,
But their
but the whole thing
distribution was
was
great.
yeah.
Their
Mm.
distribution was great. FTX was great distribution. Get Leonardo DiCaprio, get frickin' I don't know, Giselle Bundchen, get Tom Brady,
I think they were good at
Mercedes on
marketing for
Formula
sure.
One.
Good at marketing,
But
I think,
and they
but
became like a $40 billion company because of that. And the product was shit because it was actually vaporware. Like we lost. But that's just to prove the point of distribution is more important than product. But obviously, if you get distribution right, get your product right, because then you're going to really coin it. You're really going to make a good business, and you can either continue holding that business or you just sell it to someone that wants to grow.
yeah, yeah. But I think selling a business would probably take some new level of skills. I don't think I've ever had that. Actually, I had that conversation with
You,
one or two of my my guest before, because I think selling, because I believe this is my belief. Yeah, I think to sell business, you need to be able to, well, obviously, to pass it on, right, to the buyer, and then so they have to be able to take it on completely. Whether they have, I mean, ideally, if they have industry knowledge, would be better, or if they have the technical know-how. But even without the know-how, if you have like the right manual, the right, I don't know, the right things that can be transferred, right, from one company to
Yeah,
another, like
and
everything, then
that
they can
stuff is,
sell
yeah,
it.
you have to build you're building a
A
business. You're not
system,
building a
right?
job. If you
Yeah.
build a business, that's not you. I'm building a job really, but I like it because I think I can make $1 million job for
I
myself.
see. Yeah,
But
no,
if
I
I
think
want to build a
totally.
business, then I wouldn't be as profitable, but I could build it and then I could sell it to another IT company that just does projects. And we say, hey, do you want to do staff augmentation? And these guys that our clients will want to do some project work that you can then sell to them. So now you buy this business that is profitable and you can cross-sell your product or your service offering to them. So then those clients become even more valuable. And that's how you then exit that business. You just say, hey, the CEO is not the bottleneck. We have a CEO, we have a CMO, we have a CFO, we have the software, we have contracts in place, we have all the solutions, all the operations sorted. It's like we package this thing and we just sell it to you. I can't do that. If I try to sell my company, they're going to be like, oh boy, and you're coming with it.
Yeah, for sure. No, because right now, I mean, it sounds like it's very much like dependent on you for sure. So it's gonna take
It's
some time,
completely
right? Yeah,
dependent on me.
to exactly. It takes some time to like transfer a lot of those over. Just maybe three more questions or two or three more questions from my side. What do you think as like
Awesome.
qualities of a successful entrepreneur? Experience is
Dude,
okay
you have
too.
to be a little bit naive. You have to be a little bit dumb or naive or like maybe optimistic. I'm not sure what the word is, but you definitely have to have some kind of screw loose to like be like, okay, this is going to work, because you actually deal with a lot of uncertainty. You have no idea how you're going to solve problems. You have no idea what problems are going to happen. You wake up one day and you have a crazy problem. A client isn't paying and they're a huge client. That's literally what's just happened to us. A developer quits all of a sudden. That's also just happened to us.
Yeah.
Like so much, I wasn't expecting any of these things. So being able to deal with uncertainty is one. Grit or perseverance. I would say perseverance is probably number one on the list. You might fail at that business,
For sure.
but if you're a good entrepreneur, you will find another opportunity and you'll succeed. So perseverance. Yeah, maybe some kind of complex something. Maybe you have to kind of think you're better than people. I know this doesn't sound too great, but you kind of have to have some kind of chip on your shoulder. Either that you think you're better than people, or that it pisses you off that people think that they're better than you and you want to kind of prove that they're not. But there has to be some kind of complex, some anxiety there to be like, okay, I'm going to prove these people I'm better than them, or I'm going to prove these people that they should work for me. But you definitely need some kind of complex. It needs to be some kind of brain thing.
I see. I think you're probably referring to like a special ability or talent that you probably better than a lot of people at something, right?
No, I literally believe like it's a complex. Like
complex. Okay.
If someone thinks that, you have to have a chip on your shoulder. Either that people think they're better than you and you want to prove that they're not, or that you think you're better than people and you want to prove that you are. But it's a chip on the shoulder for sure. It's a complex. It's like a mental. I fully believe that. I believe that if you meet an entrepreneur, they're going to have a complex, like a superiority or inferiority complex. But one of those complexes are going to be so strong that they have to start a business to prove themselves.
Interesting.
Either to prove that they're superior or to prove that they are not inferior. I really believe that.
Interesting. I think that's like first time I heard it. But I also heard that many entrepreneurs, they begin because of a desire to fix a problem that whether they face themselves or like some other people face, right? And then that would be like the motivation. I think what you're saying, it sounds very similar to motivation, right? That you need your motivation. How do you get your everyday motivation? Like you have a chip on your shoulder. Yeah, makes sense. And of course, if you go entrepreneurship, go the long run, you need to have the right motivation. You can't just, you have to commit for like a year, 2 years, and then see if it doesn't work out.
Yeah. Perseverance and a chip on your shoulder. I think those are the two most important things. Stuff that's not important, intelligence. It doesn't matter shit. I've met very smart entrepreneurs. I've met very dumb entrepreneurs. I've met very average entrepreneurs, like intelligence-wise, and they're all crushing it. And I've met very smart people that are nowhere, and I've met very dumb people that are nowhere. So intelligence is basically no correlation. What else that is common that people, you don't need money, dude. I've had people, so many people reach out to me and be like, okay, if you can just give me some money to start this thing, you can have some equity in it. Dude, you don't need freaking money. Like literally just become resourceful, figure out a way to service that. Dude, every company hasn't had money. That's great. Like even Microsoft didn't have money. Apple didn't have money. Dude, like, what's it? Just go, even Stripe, dude. Stripe, the founders of Stripe literally would go to the people that wanted to have that software installed, and they would write the code on that person's computer.
Yeah.
They would install it physically for the people. Even Airbnb used to be Craigslist listings. Like, oh, Airbnb, now we have to have money for it. No, dude. You just have to have a way to get some clients. And then once you get some more money, spend it on getting more clients somehow else, with paid ads, with cold calling, with whatever. But you don't need money. You don't need intelligence, and you don't need money. If you think you need those two things, you're probably not going to be an entrepreneur. Like, because that's just dumb. That's like the worst reason to not start a business. It's like, oh, I don't have money. Like, that's such an easy obstacle to overcome. And that's what's like a thing that the person thinks is a big obstacle. That's crazy. We didn't have money when we started. But dude, I was on LinkedIn like a crazy person. And we closed like $250,000 worth of deals from LinkedIn. I did that manually. LinkedIn is free.
Yeah.
It's freaking free. It was a lot of my time. But it took me 8 months. 8 months. So we did that. But something that's free, multiple six figures.
That's awesome.
That's that.
Yeah.
Like, so you don't need, my messages were dumb at the beginning. Eventually it got better. But you don't need money, you don't need intelligence.
That's true. I think completely agree. I think a lot of it's about like entrepreneurship. A lot of it's about resourcefulness, how you pull the different resources together, solve a problem for someone, and then get paid by doing it, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
And of course, you don't need the thing. That's awesome. Cool. And final question: Where can people follow you? Feel free to share any public handles, username.
Yeah, awesome. I don't know how if I can add a handle here somehow. But
you can just say it out loud. I'll make sure to add it over here. There's
easiest way. I'm super active on LinkedIn. Give me a follow there. It's literally Bojan Najdov on like the LinkedIn URL. So like, I don't know, linkedin.com/Bojan/Najdov, and you'll find me there. Or just Google Bojan Najdov. It'll say startup founder and CEO. You'll see me posting every single day there. I'm super active there. I'm only active there right now. Eventually we will be active elsewhere, but yeah. Find me on LinkedIn.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll make sure to put the link in the show note, but also on the screen here as well, so people can follow you.
Yes,
Bojan, it's been a real pleasure, talking with you today and learning about entrepreneurship, your journey, man. It's been so inspiring and super thrilling to hear about what you've been doing.
Awesome.
I wish you the best of luck.
I'm glad.
Moving forward.
Well, thanks for your time. Thanks everyone for your time, for listening. I hope it was interesting. And I hope you got something good out of it.
Yeah, super fun. Thank you. And we're back to my studio. What do you guys think about this episode with Bojan, founder of Lambda Group? I'm super excited to was able to catch up with my former classmate and to know that he's doing well and killing it in his entrepreneurship journey. Let us know below what are your favorite entrepreneurship takeaways or learnings from this episode. For the next episode, we'll be talking to Cornell Cott. He's the CEO of Web3 Connect, a Web3 recruiting firm. As the Web3 market is heating up, so is the demand for Web3 talent, and then we'll be exploring more of that space. If you enjoyed this episode, please give a like and subscribe. It means a lot to me. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.